Hey everybody, welcome to some Crusader Kings III. It is the day before the game comes out. I've already got 20 hours on the game because Paradox sent it to me early. You guys, if you're just searching for CK3 playthroughs on YouTube, hi, you might have seen some of my CK2 playthroughs. Some of them did pretty well. I think there's still some of the top results. So you might have bumped into me before. Sorry the webcam's a little bit small today, and the chat on screen is very small today. But the game, just where the menus landed, this is like the only spot I could put it where it wouldn't just totally get, it wouldn't completely go over top of important information you probably want to see. We're going to be playing today with achievements turned on, so we have Iron Man mode enabled. That means no save scumming. But we can get achievements, which is awesome. And I want to start with something pretty hard. So I want to go new game. We're going to go to the earliest start date, which is 867. And we're going to be playing as Earl Alfred. Now, you can still play as any ruler in the game, just like old CK2 and everything. I'll be catching up with the chat in a minute, by the way, everybody. Just introduction stuff. Oh, that map is gorgeous, isn't it? So you can still play as like anyone. You could zoom in random places in Bulgaria, and I could be this little count here who's a 15-year-old, and no player heir liege is a hostile faith. Yeah, that guy's pretty hard to play. Maybe don't play that guy. But you still can play everyone you want. However, on this menu back here, which I think is a really cool addition, there's a bunch of recommended start dates and locations that tell you a little bit about the family that you're in and how difficult it thinks it's going to be initially. I want to play as Earl Alfred. This guy historically became King Alfred the Great, I believe. This is 867, of which I'm a little bit I'm a little bit shaky on my history in this time period. However, this is roughly around when Vikings were attacking the British Isles very, very frequently. In fact, if I just click play any ruler here, I can show you a little bit more detail here. So if I go here, I wanted to be a minor kind of count in the British Isles and try and build up from there. So I thought here in Wessex, it's mostly just owned by a petty king. I'm not going to try to say that one. It's an A mixed with an E as the first letter, and I don't know how to say that. But his little brother here is Earl Alfred, who's an 18-year-old, and he just runs kind of this western part down here. We are going to be starting off at war with multiple Vikings who have larger armies than us, so we're going to have to secure alliances very, very early. However, I believe that Earl Alfred actually has a very good military education, and so we should gain a lot of very good perks very quickly in our lifestyle. The new lifestyle system is really cool. It's basically a level-up perk system, and it's a lot of fun. I've gotten to play around with it a bit, so I'm really excited to show this to you guys. So I am going to put my headset on. There we go. Please make a character look like yourself. Oh, thanks for the $5. Yeah, I can probably do that at some point, but I feel like for Earl Alfred, for a historical figure like this, at the start, I think we'll leave him be, but you can change how people look in this one, which is really awesome. I think you needed a DLC for that in CK2, but I think we're ready to just jump in. Someone was saying before I need to go into game rules and turn off nudity? I didn't even enable Iron Man, thank you. I don't know why that keeps turning itself off. I actually haven't looked through the game rules at all. We're just on default normal difficulty. But someone said nudity is in here? I was not aware that nudity is anywhere in the game. Character nudity. I'm gonna say never, just because I don't want, like, YouTube to ban me. Let's hope they get creative and have, like, hilarious, like, stuff always just in the way of the nipples or something. I had no idea nudity was in this game, and in the pre-release, I've seduced multiple people. Weird. Yeah, I assumed it was a joke. Oh, hold on. You pronounce the AE sound as an AE sound, so A? That's how I'd say it in my accent, but I'm from, like, rural Canada, so... Okay, just double check. Iron Man is on. Achievements available. All right, everybody. It's been so long since we've played Crusader Kings. I'm so excited. I guess we just named this one, English Streams. Sure, let's do it. Save. We're in the game. That's how fast it is. Are you guys ready to kill some babies? That with no context. Sorry, if you're new to CK2, there's a lot of baby killing in this game. Okay, so something that I need to teach you right away about the map, is that it kind of looks like we're an independent nation down here, where this blue outlined area of Dorset. Don't know if that's how you pronounce that. People who live in England might have to help me a little bit. I'm vaguely familiar with some names. You know, Wessex. I think I'm saying that right. Cornwall. I've got a friend from Cornwall. So if I zoom out a little bit, though, you'll see that Wessex is this big combined thing. We are a vassal of the King of Wessex. However, the King of Wessex is our brother, who we have a 100 opinion of. Or rather, he has a 100 opinion of us, which means he loves us to death. We don't need to worry about him, like, ripping our title away from us. So our brother here has 1,410 troops in levies, 6 of those being knights, which are basically this game's equivalent of commanders, if you remember from CK2. Real quick, let's go ahead and grab our first lifestyle. So because of our martial education being really good, we gain martial traits faster. This is the big thing. Correct pronunciation, thank you. So this is the... This is one of the most exciting new mechanics of the game, and I'm really happy I get to show you this, show you guys this. Thanks for all the bits, everybody, by the way. So, you can switch these every 5 years. You remember the lifestyle system of the previous game? How that was like one of the best things, right? It's even better now, and it's in the base game. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab Marshall here, but you can just swap between them like this. Every single skill now has 3 different trees to go down. You can mix and match them as much as you want. You can mix and match between different lifestyles, in fact. Although you can only start getting experience in each one, like, every 5 years. You can switch your lifestyle focus. And within each one, you pick an individual focus on the left here that will dictate an immediate bonus that you'll get until you switch away from it. They're not tied to any specific tree here, so I could do, like, any one of these trees and any one of these 3 things at the same time. But it's really cool. So what did we start with? We started with the first level strategist, which is half cost for Casus Belli. That's nice, but it's not actually what I want right now. What I like as my first ability on a martial is Serve the Crown. Our natural dread will be 15, which means naturally people will be a little bit afraid of us. And in fact, the more timid people will especially cower before us. And that'll just make them less likely to rise up against us, you know? It's just a natural little thing to help you in diplomacy. I'm also a big fan of the gallant things here. This is basically making people love you and respect you as a warrior and as a knight. You'll get a lot more knights, which is good in combat, and also can help you get married, which is pretty cool. Strategist is all pure military upgrades for leading your troops and having them be very intelligent. And Overseer has both a lot of defensive war stuff as well as a lot of internal stability stuff, which you guys know I'm big into. Keeping dread high, keeping control high, getting mercenaries at a cheaper cost, which is good in case there's like a civil war. Stuff like that. And at the end of every single tree of the game, you can get a trait. Now, here's a cool thing. Check this out. If I hover over anything, the tooltip, you see this background kind of goes from bottom to top, and then it locks, and I can hover over it, and hover over anything within this, and I can go on this tooltip spree of reading about anything I need. I'm sure you guys have heard me if you watched me play the previous game. You've heard me 1,000 times say that this is a game of a million tiny rules, and it's very hard to really know what's going on, you know? A lot of things happen in Crusader Kings II, and you're not sure why it happened. That's less of a problem in this game, because it's got the whole library of Alexandria right in front of you in these tooltips. You can read this stuff forever. It's crazy. It's really, really useful. Like, I know it looks a little intimidating right now, but I love it. It's embarrassing, but how do you subscribe? Legit, I don't know where the button is. I think it's under the stream nowadays, but it depends where you're watching it. So don't be embarrassed. I'm a streamer and I don't know. Just like in John Schaefer's At the Gates? Yes, which is also a very cool game that I hope gets developed more. Okay, so for our first focus, I really do think we should open with a martial lifestyle because we get an enormous bonus in getting perk points. So, also, if we get crowned our liege's marshal, that'll speed up the rate we get them as well. So, we're already in wars right now. If we check down here, I don't know how much of this I'm blocking right now. Sorry, it's one of the few things that'll get blocked a little. But what matters, you can see. On the right, the attackers have 6,000 troops. On the left, the defenders only have 2,689. Not great. Is it gonna be on YouTube as a series? Hell yeah, it is. Just like the old one. We're in 2 wars. Both guys have 6,000 to 7,000 troops. It's not great. Northumberland is in a war, and we're called into that. So is East Anglia, which we're a part of that, basically. It's a worrying situation. I understand why the game rated this as a hard start. Now, our stats down there, as you can see, our diplomacy, our martial, our stewardship, our learning, like everything but intrigue is very, very high. This is our one advantage we start with. So let's hope we can handle it. As much as I'd love more martial skill, we already have high martial skill. I think the thing that's going to help us the most is chivalry. I want combat prowess. I'm going to be manually leading my troops, and we've just got to be a better general than the next guy. You're playing as Alfred the Great, right? Yep. This is before he was king, though. We're only an 18-year-old right now. Will we live that long? We'll see. Chivalry focus it is. More prowess, which helps us in battle. Attraction opinion, so anyone who is attracted to men will like us a little more. And a battlefield advantage for commander. This will help us with individually leading the troops, and we will now have a natural trickle of this. Oh, we are the marshal. Look at that. So we are intelligent, a brilliant strategist, and the liege's marshal, giving us an enormous amount of perk experience. So every 2 years, we get a perk, which is very fast. The standard without any bonuses, I believe, is every 5 years. Let's learn more about ourselves here. We're intelligent, which is a +3 to everything, and all lifestyles, which is crazy. And it's congenial, so it can be hereditary. That is an amazing trait to start with. We're a military expert, so siege planning time is faster. That's really nice, actually, for taking land. Brilliant strategist, which means we have had a very high-quality education in military affairs. We're diligent. We do gain more stress, unfortunately, because of that. However, we're a little better at everything. We're gregarious, which is great. Scheme power up, people like us more. We're just, that means our vassals are definitely gonna like us more. And we're honest. We actually have no negative traits. Mind you, honest hurts your intrigue a lot, but it's also virtuous, so it helps with piety in the Catholic Church. Our spouse is also 18 years old. She is an elusive shadow, so she is highly educated in espionage. Compassionate, generous, and diligent. Content, empath. Oh, here's another cool thing. So everybody has a character archetype now. If we click on, like, for instance, our king, who's our brother, he's a rational paragon. Now, what that actually means, you kind of have to guess, which I like. The king's a fortune builder. That's a good trait for your king. He's likely to reinvest in the country with his money. We open the outliner here. Our holdings. We have 2 holdings here. We have 2 castles. And neither one of them are very developed, unfortunately. I'm seeing here that the development is 5 and 6 out of 100. The higher the development, the more levies, and the more tax, and the more supply. You want as high of development as you can get, but we're the earliest start date in the game. So there's a lot to teach. There's a lot to teach this early in the game. For instance, we can look at our house. This is House Wessex. You can see the tagline here is, "In my pleasure, God trust me," which I think is accurate to House Wessex, if I know right. Our family dynasty is obscure, which is the lowest. We have no bonus in terms of starting with prestige or anything. You're born with 100 prestige, which is very little. But we're getting very close to being insignificant. The more you gain prestige, the more you start to build up the credibility of your family. Our branch of the family is Serdising? I don't know if that's how you'd pronounce that. It's Old English, so fucked if I know. However, there's only 3 living members of my dynasty. Looks like that's me, our brother, who's the king, and my sister. Is she married? Who's she married to? The king of Mercia? I think you would say that. That's up here, right? Yes. So that must be why we have an alliance with them, because the king there is married to our sister. Our faith is Catholic. You can see all the rules for that here, you know. What's criminal? Same-sex relationships are shunned. Deviancy is criminal. Female adultery is criminal. Male adultery shunned. Close kinslaying is criminal. Witchcraft, criminal. Divorce must be approved. Marriage type monogamous. All kinds of little things like that you can learn about, which is really cool. There's a lot of religions in the game, by the way. And you can generate your own faiths as well. Custom faiths. Although I don't want to piss off the Pope right now, so I'm not going to do that. We also have Anglo-Saxon as our culture. And this is a cool thing. So who's the cultural head of Anglo-Saxons right now is our brother. He has decided that the fascination is city planning, which is a really good one. That allows you to build more upgraded things in temples and villages. Yes, which are very good, by the way. Trading outposts are really nice for getting development in cities. So whoever's the most powerful person of a culture group can pick a fascination, and that thing will be learned faster. So you remember how in CK2, there was a big problem where tech was based just around your capital, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it was hard to spread out? Now, it's based on your culture, which I think makes a lot more sense. Culture is mixed with your, I guess you'd say, like, your technological progression. So the Anglo-Saxons right now, what do we have? We're tribal, because we're at the earliest start date. Right now we have mots, I think it's pronounced. So we have old tribal era fortification buildings. That's very important. That's like castles. We can make early castles. We have onagers, which are early catapults. Very important. Quilted armor, so we can get armored footmen as men-at-arms, which are retinues in this game. That's what you call a retinue in this game. We have currency already. Thank God. Currency is pretty nice. That increases the rate at which you get development. Crop rotation, that's all tribal era economic buildings. That's really important. Ledger, domain limit up by 1. Doesn't matter much to us right now, but the kings will like it. Maybe one day we'll hopefully be a king. In fact, if our brother dies, we're the king. And we can enact, what is this? Confederate patronage law from Gavelkind. Oh, yes. That's inheritance laws. That's just giving us slightly better inheritance laws, but if you played CK2, you know Gavelkind is a mess. Usually means that every son inherits some land, so kingdoms explode a lot. It doesn't make things very clean. So right now we have autonomous vassals, which is debatably good for me, because we're a vassal. But we don't have the innovation yet to have limited crown authority, which is generally good. Okay, what's it looking like for our council? So, you can see on our council here, we're missing a marshal. And also, your wife, or whatever your spouse is, can actually help you a lot now. You can either have them assist the ruler, where they give you a little bonus and a lot of stats, or you can have them specifically help with an individual stat and they help more. This is based on how good they are at stuff, so she's really, really good at intrigue and politics. So I can have her help me a lot with diplomacy or intrigue. Intrigue is actually a weak point for us. So it's kind of tempting. I could also go chivalry and just get a bigger bonus on military. But we're already so good with that. And honestly, we don't have enough land and levies to get much out of it. Yeah, I think I'll just keep her on assist ruler for now. So our bishop, we actually have a good bishop, which is good, because you can't reassign bishops. The Pope has to assign them when they die. It's awful. Is 3 out right now? It's out tomorrow. I got a pre-release. Yeah, I'm just gonna have him keep doing religious relations. He'll just automatically try and make people of your religion kind of like you more. He can also be used to fabricate claims, which works way better than it does before, by the way. Now it just... After a certain amount of time, you can pay for a fake claim. It's not chance-based anymore, which is really nice. Our Chancellor is garbage, but he's a powerful vassal, so I don't want to get rid of him right now. Foreign affairs? Yeah, foreign affairs... Foreign affairs gets prestige. And makes other vassals like us more. Sure. Our steward is total garbage, and he's not a powerful vassal. Let's replace him. This guy's better. We can recruit him. How much does that cost? 10 bucks? It's worth it to have a steward who's not hot garbage. There we go. Better steward. We can either have him collect taxes, we'll get 6% more money, which is basically nothing at this low of an amount, or increase development in county, which we're absolutely doing in our capital county. He's gonna try and develop that place a bit more, modernize it, you know? Okay, we have no marshal right now. Our spy master is very talented, which is great, and he's afraid of us, and he likes us. Great. I'm gonna have him... You know what? Who are we at war with? Where is this guy? The Isles. We're at war with the Isles. Ugh. So if I go into the war map here, you can see blue is us and people friendly to us, you know, our side of the war. The attackers are the red areas. So they've got Dublin and the Isles. We're at war with them. Now, mind you, their troop quality will be lower than ours. They're Vikings, but still. We're also at war with these guys and some of the north up there. Not fun. Here's what we're gonna do. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all my hotkeys here. I'm gonna start finding secrets up in their lands. Their capital holding is this one? Okay. The spy master is gonna try and find secrets in their lands. Did my screen just get darker? Am I crazy? Did my screen just get darker? Did it just get darker for you guys too? Just feels like it got darker. And then it got brighter again. That was weird. I just got a new monitor. I'm gonna assume that's like some auto brightness changing kind of shit. That's annoying.